Hey guys, so today we have a mouse to review and it is the Tuf M4 Air by Asus. A gaming mouse at around 2,000 pesos, so it kinda fits in the budget to mid-range price right now. I'm gonna be putting up a review later on which focuses more on the practical side of things. So for now, let's start with the specs. So the M4 Air is an ultra lightweight mouse which weighs in at around 47 grams, which I really like, as most of the games I play are reliant on mouse flicks and tracking, and the weight kinda makes it easier somehow. I do notice that I have less arm fatigue when I'm using this mouse. It supports an open shell design, which features triangular hole patterns where it exposes the PCB. The PCB is exposed, but Asus claims that it has IPX6 water repellent coating, so I'm not really worried about sweating or spilling something on my mouse. I kinda expected it to have some kind of flex, as the design makes it look kinda flexy, but I'm surprised because it feels really sturdy and durable. See, when I squeeze it with two hands, there's no squeaking or flexing of any kind. Asus also claims that it has their Asus antibacterial guard, which stops bacterial growth on its surfaces. We have got no way of testing that, but I think it is a nice add-on to know that Asus went out of their way to give us some sanitary features. Also, since this is a wired mouse, obviously that's a wire, the paracord is okay. It's pretty okay. Better than some mice out there on the same price range. Not the best, but it works. I believe that the mouse gates are pure 100% PTFE, and based on my initial testing, you really don't need to break these in because they are already smooth as is. I think what makes it really smooth is its weight, because the lighter the mouse is, the less it needs the actual mouse gates. There are also 6 programmable buttons with 3 onboard memory profiles which you can configure on, so there is a bit of customizability for you people out there who wants to have their macros or such. So this mouse is a bit snappy as it supports up to 16,000 DPI with a sensor and has this DPI loop button. For me, I use this DPI loop button for macros. Alright, so let's move on to the sweet stuff, my practical review of the mouse. So in terms of real world usage, how does the Tuf M4 Air hold up? The first thing I noticed about the mouse is it's not really small and it's not too big. I think it kinda mimics the Logitech G Pro X in terms of its dimensions, but there is a bit of difference being in its shape at the middle sides right here and on its hump. So the M4 Air has a lower hump on the back and has a slimmer middle portion over here. That said, you can palm, claw, or fingertip grip this mouse nicely, especially if your hand is on the medium or larger end of the spectrum. Personally, I like the shape of this mouse, also its size, because it perfectly fits into my wide hands, and I also use the fingertip grip. The left and right primary buttons feature kill red switches. I'm not sure which variant, but hey, and it contains only little pre-travel, and I consider it as a win, as too much pre-travel can get pretty annoying, especially when playing fast-paced games. The M4 Air also has kill side buttons, and it's one of the great things about this mouse because it is not mushy like other mouse out there. The side buttons are also flat, which fits into the contours of my thumb, so it feels really nice. The power cord is okay, so it's not exceptional, but it's not bad either. One of the unfortunately the downsides of the mouse is in its material feel and quality. The shells seem to be made out of a hard plastic, which personally I don't mind, as it kind of gives off the tough look, and it grips my hand decently. But the problem is, the material doesn't really shout out premium quality. I think some coating would have been nice for this mouse, but it's okay for the price, I don't mind it. The sensor. I think it is pretty okay. It has the PAW 3335 and it is not top of the line, but the implementation is amazing. So I think that it pretty much, can compete with higher end mouse out there. I wish it could have been a better sensor, but it works just fine as any other mouse out there. Also, you can check the software, the armor crate, and you can change some settings, the macros, and you can even change the LOD over the software. So my conclusion, the greatest feature of this mouse for me would be the combination of its perfect size, ambidextrousness with its ultra lightweight. Most mice you can see at the sub 50g weight are really small for me, which can really be a turn-off for some who are in the medium to larger hand size. The Tuf M4 Air manages to have this safe size and also incorporate the 47g weight on it. So basically, who is this mouse for? I think this mouse is a great pick for people who mainly play battle royales and shooters like Apex Legends and Valorant. The weight of the mouse makes hitting targets really easier with less strain on your hand and arms, while the size accommodates for people who don't have small hands. With its budget pricing, I think people who fit in this category will well find their money's worth and probably more on this mouse. So that's my review of the Tuf M4 Air by Asus. If you have a question, you can comment below and let's talk about it.